To build a functioning military, you have to pack thousands of individuals into highly confined spaces. They march in tight formations, share the same air, and push their bodies to the absolute limit. In an environment demanding such intense, uniform physical exertion, biological vulnerability is a constant threat. Because respiratory viruses spread relentlessly in close quarters, the U.S. military has explicitly mandated the flu vaccine for its service members since 1945. A universal shot was the most effective way to protect the ranks and guarantee unit readiness. Then, in April 2026, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth abruptly rescinded that 80-year-old requirement. He argued the previous policy was an absurd, overreaching mandate. The new directive made the shot entirely voluntary, an effort to restore medical autonomy and allow troops the freedom to express their religious convictions. The armed forces operate as a system built entirely on collective uniformity. Every haircut, uniform, and daily schedule is rigidly standardized. Introducing individual health choices into that exact ecosystem immediately challenged the structural integrity of basic training. When you strip away a collective biological defense and replace it with personal autonomy in a camp where thousands of people eat, sleep, and sweat together, you create a massive operational vacuum. You turn a training base into an epidemiological time bomb. Historically, military flu vaccine compliance sat near 100%. By spring 2026, the trainee vaccination rate plummeted to roughly 40%. That 60% gap of unprotected recruits creates a highly efficient pathway for rapid viral transmission. That statistical danger became a physical reality in Texas, inside the Air Force Basic Military Training Wing at Joint Base San Antonio Lackland. Basic training facilities are explicitly designed to remove physical isolation. Recruits sleep on bunk beds arranged in massive open-bay dormitories, sharing the exact same circulated air for weeks on end. This close proximity dictates every hour of the day. Thousands of trainees eat shoulder to shoulder at large communal cables. They also endure extreme physical exhaustion and high physiological stress, factors clinically proven to lower human immune responses. This schematic illustrates how an airborne pathogen behaves in a closed-loop system. A single infected recruit quickly exhales viral particles that travel freely across the room, rapidly turning tightly packed, unprotected neighbors into secondary carriers. By June, the virus swept through the training wing. Over 150 recruits contracted the flu, with severe cases requiring transport and hospitalization at Brooke Army Medical Center. Concurrently, one trainee suffered a fatal medical emergency that the Air Force is currently investigating. The events at Lackland demonstrated a harsh scientific principle. Biological realities aggressively and ruthlessly exploit the exact gaps created by political ideology. To stop the localized outbreak, the Air Force had to intervene logistically. They issued a specific exception to Hegseth's voluntary policy, officially re-mandating the flu shot for all recruits at Lackland. Medical personnel scrambled to distribute antiviral medications like Tamiflu and isolate symptomatic trainees. They had to contain the virus fast to prevent a complete collapse of the training wing's rigid graduation schedule. This emergency response highlighted the opposing doctrine of force readiness. Military brass and lawmakers, including Senate Armed Services Committee Chairman Roger Wicker, view health mandates as non-negotiable armor. Wicker argued that when you take the oath to serve, you explicitly surrender certain individual rights, including medical autonomy. That sacrifice is required to guarantee the physical survival and combat effectiveness of the broader unit. The dispute over a single vaccine highlights a deeper operational friction. It pits the civilian luxury of personal choice directly against the military necessity of uniform compliance. The outbreak at Lackland Air Force Base served as a real-world stress test. A modern political theory was injected into a highly controlled environment, dismantling a logistical safeguard that had protected the ranks for nearly 8 decades. The push for bodily autonomy resonates strongly in civilian society, where individuals can choose who they interact with and where they sleep. But placed under the extreme, tightly packed pressure of a military ecosystem, that individualism fractures. A virus does not care about personal convictions, religious beliefs, or the political mandates of a defense secretary. It only recognizes and exploits biological vulnerability. The ultimate currency of the armed forces is uninterrupted readiness, the capacity to deploy healthy, capable troops at a moment's notice anywhere in the world. When individual medical autonomy and collective military readiness collide in a closed system, nature will always force readiness to win, or the unit will fail.